Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? Welcome to another episode of Chatterboxer. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're doing fine. Thank you for joining me for the match preview between Fulham and Manchester United. In a crucial match already. It's already crucial, isn't it, guys? Manchester United against Fulham. We didn't want it to be this crucial, so straight away, of course. But it is generally a must-win match for Manchester United, because if we go into that game, even if we draw this game, we're going to be like 1 point after two games, and the Knights will be out. Of course they will. The Knights will be out. And of course, it's like it's going to be an uphill battle from now on. We're going to have to start winning some football matches. We're going to have to start winning games, and we can't rest on our laurels anymore. We have to go on Sunday against Fulham, and we have to win this game. Of course, look, guys, there is obviously the overriding interest about Manchester United in regards to transfers, in regards to players out, players in. This is what we're really focused on at the moment. Obviously, it's easy to forget that we got such a big game on Sunday, and if we don't win that game, it's going to be a little bit, negative. It's going to be toxic. We have to win that game, and I hope we do win that game, and I predict that we will win the game, but it's not going to be an easy game for us over there at Craven Cottage, of course. As history proves, we've had a lot of late wins at Craven Cottage. We haven't really been there and really won convincingly over the years, have we? When you think about, the last couple of games, we had a late goal from Licha Martinez, wasn't it? Didn't we have a late goal from Garnacho a couple of years ago? And we even scroll all the way back to Cristiano Ronaldo's very late goal at Craven Cottage, a game I was at in the title win that season, 2007, of course, guys. So when we look at this game, it's always notoriously been a difficult place to go, especially in recent years, guys. We played 41 times at Craven Cottage. We've won 13, guys, in my opinion. 13 times, actually, no, sorry, we won 30 times against Fulham in 41 games. We won 13 times at Craven Cottage in the Premier League era. So, look, they don't generally beat Man United. They've won a couple of times. There's been a few draws. I think there's been 4 draws between the two sides. But Man United generally have the upper hand against Fulham overall. But this game we cannot take lightly. We cannot take lightly, not least the fact that we lost the game at the weekend, which we shouldn't have lost, but we lost the game. And we have to really bounce back now. Because when you get 2 games, if we lose this game on Sunday, when you get 2 games lost in a row, considering we've got Man City, Chelsea, and Liverpool to come, it starts to get a little bit dodgy, doesn't it, guys? It really does. And we don't want that to happen. We want Man United to go out there and win that game on Sunday, and we hope they do. Now, guys, a little bit of transfer news, of course. There is a lot circulating at the moment in regards to Carlos Baleba. The Carlos Baleba deal apparently is not off at the moment. It's not off. It's still on, apparently. Look, I take that with a pinch of salt, guys. I've been hurt already. I'm not willing to be hurt again. I take that with a pinch of salt, guys. I really do, in regards to Carlos Baleba. Also, in regards to Garnacho, it does look likely Garnacho will be leaving the club very soon, guys. I predict he'll be leaving this club very soon. In regards to Rasmus Højlund, now, look, I don't think that we got enough time to do everything. Of course, there is a lot to do in this transfer window, still a lot to do. This is why we should have done so much more by now, of course, guys. But by resting on our laurels, we've actually got to the last week almost, and we've only got 3 players in, which is disgraceful when you're looking at things realistically. Excuse me. Big up everyone in the stream. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Afternoon, Sal. Any truth on Højlund, Napoli to 50 million? Another site is saying this. I broke it, Dembo. I broke it. I was the one who broke Napoli, Højlund. I was the one who said it. At the end of the day, now Fabrizio has said it this morning. I said it a week ago. I said that Rasmus is going to Napoli. He may go to Napoli because of Romelu Lukaku's injury. Romelu Lukaku's out for 3 months. So it could quite possibly be that Man United do sell Rasmus Højlund to Napoli, guys. And that would be interesting. It really would. If they did sell him to Napoli, guys, it really would, guys. Absolutely. But what I would say is that I'm not going to get too excited. I'm not going to get too excited about it. I'm going to wait and see what happens. I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to see what goes on and stuff like that. Because at the moment, look, this transfer window has been an absolute disaster. And it's not one of those transfer windows where you can really predict things, that these things are going to happen and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So what I would say is that, what I would say is that I hope he leaves. I do. Maybe go on loan to Napoli. But Napoli apparently are looking for a permanent deal. This is what I'm hearing. But it could be a loan. Let's wait and see what happens. Apparently, Rasmus doesn't want to go to AC Milan. That's another thing. Another story coming out was the Atalanta story that Rasmus may go to Atalanta, which I don't believe for 1 minute, guys. I really don't believe that for 1 minute, him going to Atalanta on loan. I don't think that's going to happen. But because Man United do want money for the loan. They want money. If it is a loan, they're going to want money, of course. Now, Rasmus is not a big deal because obviously Rasmus is not a troublemaker. Rasmus doesn't come out with toxicity. He doesn't write tweets and things like that. Rasmus is a player that I like as a person and is a player that Man United would like to keep. But because of the situation with Sancho, Anthony, Garnacho, Man United are looking to sell him because they can't sell any players at the moment. Although it does look like Garnacho will be the one leaving. Turning it back to Sancho, Sancho's not leaving on a permanent deal. Sancho is going to wait out his contract. The reason he's going to wait out his contract because it doesn't make sense for him to sign for a football club when he can go on loan to a football club, wait until the end of the season and get a big payoff after that. Do you know what I mean? So what I would say is that, yeah, look, the Sancho one is the worst one. But, you know, he could go on loan. He could go on loan to Roma. This is the thing. He might go on loan to Roma, but he's definitely not interested in a permanent deal yet. He doesn't want a permanent deal. He didn't want a permanent deal at Chelsea. He doesn't want a permanent deal at Roma. He wants to go on loan so he can waste out the rest of his contract. And then another suitor is going to pay him a lot of money, of course. Big up everyone, of course. Big up everyone. Hope you're all doing well, guys. Don't forget to like the stream, guys, and smash a like. And guys, you're the realists in today. You're the realists. I know there's a lot of people just look for transfer news. They look at the headlines and they look for transfer. You guys are the realists. Good afternoon, Sal. What is your prediction for today's game, for Sunday's game? My prediction is I'm saying 2-1 to Man United. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think that Fulham will give us a game, and Fulham always raise their game whenever they play Manchester United, of course. So I'm going 2-1 to Manchester United. Here's my lineup. I hope you. What do you think of the lineup? This is not the lineup I want it to be, by the way. This is the lineup I think it's going to be. Maybe there'll be 1 or 2 changes in this lineup. Maybe the goalkeeper made in Aiden Heaven. I would like to see Aiden Heaven moved into that centre-back position, bring him back into the left-sided centre-back position. That would be good. But we'll have to wait and see what Ruben Amorim does, of course. Ephraim, Sal, is there any news about the mercenary players? Nothing at the moment apart from Garnacho. Chelsea are braced for a bid for Garnacho at the moment. In regards to other players, in regards to Anthony, another one that we're not mentioning a lot, and he does deserve the same criticism as Jadon Sancho. Not quite as much, I would say, but he does deserve criticism because he as well is sitting down and thinking, you know what, I'm not going anywhere unless I go to Betis, you know, holding the club to ransom, you know, power trip, guys. It's a power trip. Ephraim, is there any truth of United wanting Andres Santos? I've seen a couple of rumors about that. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about Andres Santos at the moment. I've seen a few rumors going around, squirting around, but until I get some clarification on these deals, on these rumors, I'm not going to say anything. Guys, I don't really like to say things I don't know about because at the end of the day, Andres Santos is a player that, you know, Man United have been linked with in the past. And let's wait and see what happens. We're going to be linked with a whole number of players. But my feeling is, guys, is that the players that Man United are going to go for will be the players that we've been talking about for a few weeks, which obviously is Højlund. Of course, guys, there's going to be, obviously, Agume is another one that Man United could quite possibly go in for. Apparently, according to Ben Jacobs today, Man United are big fans of Højlund. They really admire Højlund, and Man United quite possibly could make a bid for Højlund. Now, this isn't my first choice. Højlund isn't my first choice. Absolutely not. I would have much preferred an Agume, a Lamine Camara, someone of that ilk. You know what I mean? I mean, Højlund is a little bit of a, like, you know what, an unfashionable midfielder, does the basics right and stuff like that. You know, but my argument would be this. My argument would be, is Morten Højlund better than what we have? And this is the question that we have to ask ourselves. Is he better than what we have? You know, I doubt it. I would love to see Mainu and Ugarte in that midfield and hope Sesko is on Sunday. I would love to see that as well, Joe. You speak my mind, my friend. I would love to see that as well. I would love to see Mainu and Ugarte in that midfield because I think that's our most balanced midfield. As much as people don't rate Mainu, I actually think that playing Bruno in the number 8 position actually harms Ugarte. It actually harms Ugarte because when Bruno's taking it upon himself to go all around the pitch and running around being a hero, he does leave Ugarte exposed numerous amounts of times. And you know what? I feel sorry for the central midfielder who plays with Bruno Fernandes, of course, you know. But look, you know, what I would say is that I would love to see Ugarte and Mainu. That would be great. I just don't think that's going to materialize. I don't think Man United will play both of them in the midfield, to be honest with you. It's going to be Bruno and someone else, sadly. And this brings you the question, isn't it? What's going to happen with Mainu? What's going to happen? You know, is Mainu going to sit on the bench? There's a World Cup coming at the end of the year. What's going to happen? Is he going to take sitting on the bench? You know? Winners of Master Kick Soccer season absolutely Benny. Big up, Benny. Hope you're well. Big up, Tybo. What's going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. All our rivals are strengthened. They're already strong teams. We've improved compared to last season, but the gap between us and the rivals is even bigger. Exactly, Tybo. And this is something I brought in earlier in this morning, and people were saying that the Ineos window has not been a failure. I said that if we stop the window right now, if it ended right now, and you know what? We had Mbumo, Cunha, and Sesko, it would be a failure. Yes, we signed some good attackers, but it would be a failure, you know, because even if all the Premier League teams didn't sign anyone and Man United signed those 3 players, Man United are not going to challenge for top 4, even if they didn't sign those players. And that is my feeling on it. That's my feeling in regards to that. So Man United probably moved from 15th to 8th or 7th. You know, and this is the thing, you know, but they've strengthened immensely. Liverpool has spent nearly 500 million. Once they get Isaac through the door, it's game over, guys. They're going to get Isaac. That's another powerhouse up front. They've got in their already strong team, of course. And it's annoying. It's frustrating because I don't want to say these things because it's Liverpool. You know, and then look at Arsenal, buying Eze, another one, you know. The only saving grace is that Tottenham have had quite a poor window in comparison, you know. That's the only saving grace. But Chelsea are improved, Man City are improved, you know, and there we go. You know, Mark, the legend. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Afternoon, Sal, and the community. How are you, my friend? Very well, brother. I hope you're well as well. Out of hope for the next 2 weeks. For some positive changes, stay calm and trust in Sal. Oh, come on, Mark. Absolute legend, my friend. Yeah, look, trust, guys. Trust the process. Don't stress yourself too much. I know it seems like I'm stressing, but I'm just shouting. I'm just loud and enthusiastic. That's just me. You know what I mean? But what I would say is that, look, don't stress too much. Don't worry too much. Let's wait and see until the 1st of September. You never know, guys. We might get a surprise. And then everything is all calm again, isn't it? At the end of the day, everything will be all calm. Frankie J, what's going on, my friend? Is another week is about to end. Absolutely, Frank J. And we still can't get rid of Anthony Sancho Garnacho. Disappointing. Very, very, very disappointing, mate. Very disappointing. Bruno lacks the midfield IQ. He doesn't ever check on his shoulders. Absolutely. Needs to stay in the midfield. He should study Edgar Davids. What a player Edgar Davids was. And this shows you the levels of football. How football has regressed, Mark, in regards to the midfielders that used to be around. Edgar Davids, Clarence Seedorf, these kind of players, they're absolute well-beaters, and they weren't even deemed like elite players back then. They were very good players, but people didn't see them as like these world-class. I remember Edgar Davids. I bumped into Edgar Davids once in Selfridges in London. Legend, absolute legend. And he played for Tottenham at the time. And I would say, yeah, what a player he was. Great player. The thing with the midfield, if I speak about the midfield, guys, I know people are going to say, oh, you're a little bit cruel, Sal. You're a little bit cruel. But when you're in the midfield, you need to have a certain way about you. It's the blinkers, right? Paul Scholes famously could spot 2, 3, 4 passes ahead of everyone else. That's because he was a proper number 8 in that system, right? He could play up front, understandably, but he was a number 8. He knew all around 360 what is going around the pitch. Bruno Fernandes is very doof. Feet are like this. Number one, when you're midfielder, generally your feet are like this. His feet are like this. They're wide, so he can't really get himself moving like a Paul Scholes or Edgar Davids or Clarence Seedorf can do. You know what I mean? So I would say that, yeah, look, you know what? He's not a midfielder. He's not positionally disciplined. And I think if Man United really want to succeed, they're going to have to play the best midfield, which is obviously, in my opinion, it's like the guy said earlier on, it's Mainu and Ugarte, guys. Right here, right now. What we have is Mainu and Ugarte right now. Ephraim, what's going on, my friend? Sal, do you take Hoyman? His Arsenal tattoo on his arm as a problem? Nah, not really, mate. Not really, mate. I mean, it's his problem, not mine. I mean, I'm lucky I don't have an Arsenal tattoo. You know what I mean? That's all I could say. Danny B, he might have to get it off. He might have to get it ripped off, though. Absolutely. Danny B, big up, Sal. Big up, Danny B. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hello, Sal. I hope you're much. I hope so much. I will live to see a proper owners United forever. Big up, my friend. Than ever. Peace, brother. We need peace. Absolutely, brother. Big up, Miles. Yes, we need peace. Whatever happened to peace? Peace. Absolutely. Guys, Rakim, you remember that? Those who know. Whatever happened to peace? Absolutely. Dues, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. What's up, Sal? That Sunday fixture, we must win for sure. The next 3 fixtures must win to pick momentum no matter what. And this is what we have to say. Absolutely spot on. We have to win this game against Fulham because this is the easy game. This game and Burnley are the easy games. And then we're going to play, obviously, Man City away, Chelsea at home. And guys, we got, I think who we got after that. I'm not too sure who we got after that, but we have got Liverpool coming up as well, which is going to be a very complicated game, as we already all know, of course. Ephraim, so I am worried. We're worried that the time is ticking. How we can sign a goalkeeper midfielder if we are not negotiating now. One thing I will say to you, Ephraim, just to ease the stress a little bit, we don't know that. We don't know that. What we know, which is very, very evident, is that Ineos like to keep things close to their chest. They don't really like to discuss their personal business unless it suits them and a narrative. For example, these bids for Baleba and things like that, this PR and things like that. Manchester United have to be very, very careful when they're doing deals with the likes of Brighton and Hove Albion, when they're putting in bids for their players. They have to be very, very careful they do not fall out with these teams. Because at the moment, if the rumors are true, 50 plus 5 billion incentives, for me, to be honest with you, is bad, to be honest. Dales, we got Burnley next after Fulham, then Chelsea. I think we got after Burnley, we got, I think it's Man City, my bro. I think it's Man City. I think we got Man City and then we got Chelsea. I could be wrong, guys. I could be wrong. I haven't got my fixture list up, but I think it is Man City. Then we got Chelsea. I think we got Chelsea about the 20th of September. I may be wrong. There is an international break. Guys, God help us. There is an international break in between, by the way. We're going to have to put up with international break again. The opinions currently on the market don't seem good now. Hoyman, Ngume, and Edison don't convince me. There you go. Yes, been waiting for the previous. Hi, Sal. Big up, Jamie. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, look, so guys, this is the preview show for Fulham against Manchester United. Now, guys, look, it's going to be a difficult game. Who's going to play? Onana or Bayinde? Is it going to be? Are we going to play Ahmad? Are we going to play Dalot? Is Sesko going to start, guys? What's going to happen in this game? Is it going to be a win for Man United? We need a win. And my prediction is here. Here is my team, or here, wherever it is on your screen, guys. Guys, it is a prediction that Man United will win the game 2-1. A must win for Manchester United, guys. I really do, guys. Hope so. I love how the board told Bruno we had money, but now struggling to get players. I don't trust this board, Fulsa. I don't trust this board at all, mate. They've spread a load of lies about the Baleba situation. They basically lied and said that, you know what, he's not for sale at any price. And there was some manipulative number that went out there into the airwaves, of course, guys, which was obviously a lie. And then we hear 50 million plus 5 billion incentives. What's that all about? It's absolutely terrible. It's disgraceful, isn't it? At the end of the mark. And I don't trust them. I don't know why people are so willing to trust people that they don't know, trust billionaires that they don't know. It's really weird. Big up, Mark. So I hope we get a goalkeeper before the 1st of September. And with that, with the CM, of course, let me just put this up. With the CM, we can possibly work with someone from the youth team and bring him in the first team. Look, Joe, you make a good point there, mate. And what I would say, you're right. I am not, and I said it at the beginning of the end of last season, I'm not as worried about the midfield as some people are. Shock horror. I said the most important part of Manchester United at the moment is the goalkeeper. And I said that way back when, before this transfer window even opened. I was like, you know what, we need a goalkeeper. That's what we need a goalkeeper. And lo and behold, we lost the game at the weekend because of the goalkeeper. I personally feel we would have ended up winning that game because when Arsenal scored, they went back and sat back and defended. Whereas if it was 0-0, they'd be more inclined to take risks and maybe try and get a goal. And it might have made space for Man United. And the way that Cunha and the way that Mbeumo were playing, I think that, we probably would have won the game maybe, Absolutely. Sal, how much pain we will get from our next 5 games? No, I'm not going to predict like that. we don't know. I mean, we don't know who's going to come through the door. Obviously, for me, it depends who we sign, mate. I know we're going to, I don't know, but I think we're going to win the game against Fulham on Sunday. I believe we will. Even though we win it tight, I think we will win the game on Sunday, and hopefully that will bring us some joy in the coming weeks. We're definitely going to beat Burnley. So right there, it's going to be 6 points right there. So when you're looking at the rest of the games, however, Chelsea, Man City, we beat Man City last season. We beat them last season. We can do it again. The fact that we have to choose between Onana and Binder is really bad. It's the worst two choices in Europe. It's like having to choose between your finger or your thumb to get rid of. Onana or Binder are the only options. I know, mate. I know. But that's what it's going to be, though. You know it as well as I do. It will be 9 to 12 points, to be honest. Amram should be point on with his team. Selection 2. Ahmad should be ahead of Dalot and the right wing position. Yeah, he should. My biggest criticism about Ahmad is that Ahmad needs to learn to cross. That is it. I know it's not his natural foot, but he needs to get that ball into the box, mate. We're going to have Sesko up front. He needs to play Sesko, by the way. There's no substitute for having a great striker up front. The striker moves the defense all over the place. I think that Sesko will score his debut goal. I think he'll score his first goal for Man United against Fulham this weekend. I really do. Doué. And no matter who we're playing, scoring goals and converting chances should be crucial in our next games for sure. If we are to be there in the next games, we have to convert every chances. And hopefully, now that we got a competent striker, hopefully we will score more goals. Hopefully it will happen. I really do hope so. Hopefully Man United will score more goals and Man United can progress and Man United can, you know what, build a little bit of confidence. Confidence is very important as well. And it's something that I think Man United have been missing over the last few months is a little bit of confidence, a little bit of will and desire, I would say that. Absolutely, guys. I would say that. But yeah, look, whatever happens, we're back in the team this Sunday. Hopefully you can join me for the watch along, guys. Hopefully you can join me. But this preview, of course, Man United against Fulham. Lots of history, guys. Lots of memories in regards to Fulham. Really, really enjoy playing them. Craven Cottage is a very beautiful stadium in regards to, if you go to Craven Cottage, it's near a place called Fulham Broadway. Guys, not Fulham Broadway, Putney Bridge. Sorry, it's near Putney Bridge. Fulham Broadway is Chelsea. So you go to Putney Bridge, can you believe it? Fulham Broadway is Chelsea. Putney Bridge is Fulham. So if you get off at Putney Bridge, there's this amazing walk that you go through this river, the Thames and stuff. It's really beautiful. And it's a great stadium to visit. Been there a few times and lucky to do that. Seen some great Man United times, of course. But Man United on Sunday need to just believe. And what fills me with enthusiasm, what fills me with excitement is the fact that we got Mbeumo, the fact that we got Cunha. These players really excited me at the weekend. And I know that if we add Sesko into that lineup, I know that we can do something damage to Fulham. I know we can. They're not going to want to play against Sesko. But my biggest thing is they have to cross. Our wingers have to cross. They have to learn to cross and stop being greedy, just cutting in, because when they cut in, they get in the way of the other players in the team. Joe, I just hope we can start to get the same lineup when we had Arsenal. And for me, I am not worried about it. I don't know. I mean, I hope so as well, Joe. I hope they don't start the same lineup as they did against Arsenal. As people know in the stream, I sort of had a rant about it. I mean, obviously it was a short run. I don't rant too much before games because you never know what's going to happen in the game, But one thing I would say, before the game, I was very disappointed in the lineup. I felt that we went cowardly. I thought it was, and I said those words, we're cowardly. We're cowardly. And I would say that if Man United started Sesko, if Man United started Ahmad, I think Man United probably would have won that game. I'm telling you right now, and not only with the striker situation in regards to Sesko, Sesko's also a very big lad and he can do his defensive work as well. So when corners come in, he probably end up on the head. He probably head that away. That is Sesko. Do you know what I mean? Those Cunha line-breaking runs gives me goosebumps. I can really see us pulling away against Fulham. I really can see that. But I think it's going to be a tough game. I think Fulham will be ready. But I really can see Cunha and Mbeumo really giving them problems. I really can see that. And I really do hope, guys, please, Amram, do not play the false number 9, my man. Please do not play the false number 9. I beg you. Good afternoon, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Ruben chose Dalot to cross, but his crosses are shit. I agree, Paul. Always loved Craven Cottage, a proper English stadium. proper place, proper city, proper town, everything. I used to work in just down the road from Fulham. I used to work in Marks and Spencer's, guys. Yes, I used to work in Marks and Spencer's, just down the road from Fulham Stadium. Yeah, and I worked in a whole load of places, guys. So it's a lovely place, a great place to live. Look, I like going to Craven Cottage. Man United have a good record there, a decent record at Craven Cottage. Hopefully that continues on Sunday. Hopefully we get some good news on Sunday and that continues, of course. No use having a 6-4 striker and no crosses and serving. Absolutely. The one thing I would say, Benny, about Sesko, though, in his defense, is that he does score all different types of goals. He's very good at scoring like headers. That's great. That's true. But he's very good at left foot, right foot. And he's a scorer of great goals. He's a scorer of great goals. He knows where the goal is. He is a very, very talented tool player, you know? Absolutely. He might, some people may say that he reminds them a little bit of Ibrahimovic. You know, I mean, that is big praise indeed. Ibrahimovic was a great player, of course. But yeah, look, you know what? What I would say is that Sesko, best of luck to him. I hope he plays on Sunday, please. Ruben, do it. Just play him. Stop this Mason Mount false number 9, please. Please, mate. We don't want to see that on Sunday. Absolutely not. Give us something to shout about. Give us something to be excited about, guys. Absolutely. That's what he needs to do. You know, I would hope so. I would like to hope so, guys. Absolutely. But it's going to be a tough game. As I said, it's going to be a tough game. Man United will have to be on their guard against Fulham because Fulham have some good players, guys. They've got obviously, you know, they've got a lot of players there in regards to Jimenez, a good player there. They got their Smith Rowe, who used to play for Arsenal, of course. They got him as well, guys. Yeah, they got a lot of players there, guys. They got a lot of players that can cause us. Davies is another one. A lot of players there that can cause a little bit of problem. Not least Mr. Pereira. Mr. Pereira, you know, the pre-season Pirlo plays against us as well. So don't be surprised if he becomes the versus Man United Pirlo. You know, so we have to be wary of that as well, which is obviously Andreas Pereira and players like that, of course, very experienced players. They got a good team. They got Leno in goal, and I think he's probably better than our goalkeepers, to be honest with you. You know, hey there, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope you're blessed. Good to see you in the stream, my friend. Hope you're good, of course. Welcome to Stretford Post. Yeah, guys. So look. No, what I would say is that, look, you know, I've been waiting for this game because as soon as that Arsenal game finished, I was itching for this game. I was waiting for this game to come along. I was like, oh, we need to play Fulham. That's a different game and stuff. It's unfortunate we had to play Arsenal in the first game of the season because I felt like if we played them later on in the season, we would have been more prepared. Because you're looking at Arsenal and you look at the Arsenal team and you think like they are more prepared than us. You know, we're not anywhere near prepared. You know, Sesko weren't fit. Mbeumo weren't really... He's really fit, was he, at the end of the day, even though he had a decent game. Now, my prediction is 2-1. I do think Sesko and Mbeumo will score the goals. That is my prediction. Sesko and Mbeumo, 2-1 Man United. Man United will win the game, guys. I'm pretty certain. Come on, I have to be. I'll go 2-1 United. I'll take that all day long, my friend. Big up yourself. I would take that. And and we move on to Burnley. And then by the time you know it, we've won 2 out of 3. You know, and we would have beaten Burnley as well. Look, I'm not underestimating Burnley, but if we don't beat Burnley, I mean, we've been there before, isn't it? My goodness me, it's Burnley. We lost to Burnley. Oh, my goodness me. We can't do that again, guys. Absolutely not. 3-1, says Joe. Come on. You know what? I was very close to Joe. I was very close to saying 3-1. I was this close to saying 3-1, but I thought, I thought, because you know what I said at the weekend? I said Arsenal game, we're going to win 3-1. You know, maybe that's a cursed result. Hey, Percival, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hey, big up, Sal. I don't know if I'm delusional or what, but if we get a midfielder and a good keeper, we could crack the top 4. Percival, I don't say you're delusional. I predicted we're going to win the league. You know what I mean? So what I would say is that is if we sign a midfielder and a goalkeeper. I feel like top 4 is a very real possibility. Football is dealt with fine margins. It only takes a little spark to change your whole fortunes. It really does. And to be honest, if we sign a midfielder and we sign a goalkeeper, I think Man United will be all right. I think they will. I think they will challenge the top 4. Goalkeeper, most importantly, because the goalkeeper breeds confidence. He gives the defense a calmness. He gives them it doesn't give them anxiety like our keeper right now gives them. And they're more willing to go forward if you've got a competent goalkeeper behind the sticks, you know? Call me strange. You're not strange, Tybo, but I say 4-0 United. That attacking line, good versus Arsenal. Tybo, if Sesko plays, I want to see Sesko play, please. Because when that team was attacking against Arsenal, it was pretty clear that we were missing the focal point, that we were missing the guy up front. We were missing Sesko. Absolutely. But 4-0 will be absolutely lovely. That will send a message. That will send a message. 4-0 United. What a bounce back. Absolutely. They got a good manager, of course, guys. They got a good they got a good manager. They got a good team. They're a strong team, of course, as well, as we know, guys. And, you know, is it Licha Martinez? Who's the other player who had the rivalry with Licha Martinez? Not Torre. What's his name? Built fella. What's his name, guys? The built fella. Absolutely. My friend, I just hope we get rid of Garnacho and Sancho before the Burnley game. I really do. I hope so as well, mate. I really hope we get rid of them in time for the window to shut, because at the end of the day, I want us to bring in some players, you know what I mean? And that will help us a lot to bring in players. If we get rid of the Sancho, if we get rid of the Garnacho, the Antonys, it'd be great. It would be great. And Man United at least bring in a goalkeeper. Now, Ben Jacobs spoke today, of course, talking about the goalkeeper position, saying that Seny Lamens is the goalkeeper that Man United could quite possibly go for. Of course, Seny Lamens first broke on Stretford Post, of course, a year ago, guys. And people were laughing at me. Who the hell is Seny Lamens? We need an experienced goalkeeper. Now people are starting to think about Seny Lamens with the 1%, top 1% goalkeeper in Europe, guys. In the top 1%. And I told Man that this guy is a good goalkeeper. Now Man United could possibly do that. But I don't care what Man United is saying. There's Emi Martinez as well. I want them just to make things happen. I want it to happen, and I'm fed up with the talk. I don't know about you, but I'm fed up with the talk. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so fed up with the talk. I just want us to make business and get some signings through the door. Jamie Jacobs also said that United's happy with Onana. Yeah. Take that with a huge dose of salt. This is coming from Ruben Amorim. So obviously Ben Jacobs said it, but it is a repeat of what Ruben Amorim said. Ruben Amorim said that he's happy with the goalkeeper. Of course, he's going to say that he's happy with the goalkeeper, because if he doesn't, if Onana is in line to play on Sunday and Ruben Amorim takes it upon himself to criticize Onana, how's that going to help Onana on Sunday? It's not, is it? We're not going to sign a goalkeeper this week, so you might as well keep your players sweet. There's no point rattling the cage. Absolutely not. There's no point doing that. So this is a very cliche thing that happens in football. It's annoying. We know it's a lie, but your managers will never criticize their own players unless they're on the brink. Like for example, a Jose Mourinho or something like that, and he's on the brink and he mentions all the players and just goes rogue. The manager would never mention a player in a bad light, even if it's true or not. Jamie, I'm confused with what's going on with this keeper situation. It's strange. My feeling is, Jamie, is that Man United really don't want to get a goalkeeper. This is my feeling. I got a feeling Man United really don't want to sign a goalkeeper. I got a feeling, not Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim wants his own man in the goal. I got a feeling that Manchester United, the board, do not want to replace Onana. The board still see a goalkeeper in there, you know, which is wrong, of course, as we know. Tyborg, we are 2 players, 3 bench players away, absolutely, from competing for the Premier League title. The most important thing was to change the atmosphere, the culture at United. Amorim has done a lot on his front already, on his own as well, Tyborg, I might add. On his own, he's done a lot to get rid of the toxicity within the football club. It's very difficult. He can't really do things himself. He can't, sell Garnacho. He can't sell Sancho. It's not down to him. It's down to the board. But what he has done, he has input a discipline within this football club. I think it was Xerxes who said it. Xerxes said that this Man United atmosphere is amazing. It's an amazing atmosphere. It's never been better, and that's what I like to hear. The atmosphere should now, guys, just go on the pitch and start winning some football matches. Big up, Tyborg. I swear I can't stand another season with Onana and buying there between the stick. I'd rather start Heaton, and I'm being dead serious. I don't disagree with you. I agree with you, mate. I agree. I would start Heaton as well, mate. Absolutely. Onana will get crucified if he messes up against Fulham. He'll get absolutely crucified bad. Absolutely. I would play Heaton as well, Joe. I would play Heaton as well. Heaton, at least, he's not the best goalkeeper in the world. Obviously, he's getting on a bit. I think he's 39 now. But I would definitely play Heaton. Yeah. Fulham 3-3 draw, 3-7 United 2-10. Am I seeing us winning 2-0 comfortably? Come on, do it. I hope so. I hope we do win the game comfortably. I hope we do. I hope we do win this game. I hope we have a great result. I don't care how we win. I don't really care. Even if we win 1-0, I don't care. As long as we win this game, guys. That's all I care about is winning this game. And hopefully we will. Hopefully we'll have a joyous evening on Sunday, guys. I hope so. Because last weekend, it wasn't a really good feeling, was it? It was quite annoying, actually, wasn't it? Absolutely. But you know what? I do believe that Man United will win the game. I'm gonna be confident here. I'm gonna be confident. I think we will win the game. Jamie, I'm more calm today, Sal. Don't know what was up with me yesterday. Just lost my rag, mate. I don't know why. Not the first time you lost your rag, Jamie. Of course, you lost your rag quite a lot. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, you're passionate, and I love that about Man United fans. You know, to be passionate about it. Yeah, just a swearing, mate. Just a swearing. Absolutely. This is not a rap video. Do you know what I mean? I'm not Missy Elliott. You know what I would say is that just keep it calm. That's it. But we all passionate, Jamie. I would say that. You know what I mean? We're all passionate about it. You know, absolutely. But I hope that we have a much more positive weekend this weekend. I hope that next week we're much more in a much more better spirits. But that's not to say that we let them off the hook. They still need to sign some players and get rid of some players. And God, I hope they do get rid of some players and sign some players. Goodness me. Because this window, I just want us to sign those 2 players and then this window now, guys. I really do. I hope. I really do hope. But we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, it's all up in the air at the moment, and we have to see what happens, of course. But I'm believing. I will always believe in Man United. I always believe that we will get there, guys. I always believe. I got a feeling about this season. I know we lost the first game of the season, but I got a feeling about this season. I got a feeling about Ruben Amorim that something good will happen, and let's hope so. I'm too passionate, mate, but I've always been like that loud and very competitive person. Big up, Jamie. I understand, mate. Look, I'm tired of Man United, you know, being in the lower half of the table. I'm tired of losing to Arsenal. I dislike Arsenal with a passion. I turned off all my social media at the weekend because I did not want to see Arsenal fans gloating. We dominated the game. We had 1 or 2 penalties, and we didn't get it, you know, at the end of the day. But hopefully things go our way on Sunday, and hopefully the referee is not in the news again against Man United. We don't get many penalties these days. We don't get much in the way of VAR either. The only thing we get if it goes against us, that's the only thing. That's the only consistent thing that happens, is that decisions go against Man United. And more times than not, we're at full time, we're like, oh, you know, the referee, it's down to the referee. It's the referee. You know what I mean? You know, and hopefully it's not. Hopefully we have a game that Man United win comfortably. We're happy. We won comfortably. Bring on the next game. And that's what I would say. Absolutely. I really do hope that happens. I really do. But we'll have to wait and see what goes on Sunday. It does depend how we start the game. Very important how we start the game, of course. Fulham will be up for it. Fulham will be really putting their foot in, and they will be trying to score an early goal. So Man United have to be ready for that. Absolutely. I do think it'll be a tight game, but I hope that, like Chatterboxer said, I hope that we win 4-0. That'd be absolutely brilliant. We deserve a 4-0, for goodness sake. When's the last time we had an easy-going game, guys? When was the last time we had a nice, peaceful, cushy game, guys? 2 pillows, nice and comfy, that sort of game. Do you know what I mean? Beef Bully, get out, Garnacho and Anthony. 10, we move. Both can get 70 million. Thoughts out. I would love that to happen, Beef Bully, my friend. I would love that to happen. I mean, I say it as well as you do, mate. We need to get rid of Garnacho and Anthony. It will bring in a lot of money, even if we sold them at 35 million a piece, even though that's low. That's on the low offer. That would be absolutely fantastic, because that money could be reinvested in the team, of course, which I would love. Jamie, I'm not even mad when we lose to Arsenal, apart from the goal. They literally did nothing the last 20 minutes. They just defended. Seeing a delict, shutting down your carries over and over again was comedy. It was comedy. And what I would say also, there was a lot of positives to bring for that game. I think the biggest overriding thing was frustration. I felt frustration because I knew if we had a competent goalkeeper, even if we had Heaton in goal, I don't think we would have lost that game on Sunday. The worst we would have got is a draw, in my opinion. And that's what really irritated me, because of how close we were in that game, you know? And Arsenal acting like they would, you know, I've seen Arsenal fans talking and stuff like that about, you know, they deserve to win. That's how you win. You play badly and you win. No, they didn't play badly. Arsenal played Arsenal. Man United were just better, you know, but Arsenal got the goal, and it was a mistake for the goalkeeper. And I honestly believe we might not even draw that game. We probably might have even won that game if we didn't make that mistake, because the whole dynamics of the game changes, doesn't it? The system, Arsenal won't sit back as much. You know what I mean? Arsenal are the glorified Stoke. I would say that. I know a lot of people get mad at me, but they are a glorified Stoke. Absolutely. And I'll argue that with anyone. Tyborg. Usually I don't swear too much, but last season I couldn't recognize myself. Onana is to blame for this. Tyborg, you know what? We were here together on that horrible season last season, ending in the worst possible way. It was like the most poisonous cake in the world, matched with the most poisonous cherry on top. That is basically what it was, with the Tottenham game as the final game of the season. It was an absolute awful experience, but an experience that I hoped we would learn from, you know, an experience that I hope that in particular the board learned from. I would have thought that Man United will be thinking right now, this cannot happen again. We're going to fix the wrongs of last season. At the moment, I don't think they're really going tooth and nail for it. They're not really going full throttle on improving for last season. As much as we can praise them for signing in Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko. Cunha was in the last fiscal year, of course, but I praised them for that when it happened. And I was the one on this channel saying, look, you got to keep calm, give them time. You got to keep calm, give them time. I was overly enthusiastic, maybe. And I was like, look, let's wait until the end of June. Let's wait until July. And I was believing, because I didn't want to stress myself out too much. I didn't want to overreact, and then they sign some players and I get a slap in the face. Even now, I'm not overreacting. I do know they got until the 1st of September, and let's see what they do. But again, are Man United going to get players that are going to elevate us now? Are they going to get a midfielder that's going to elevate us? A midfielder that is better than Ugarte, who's better than Mainu? Are we going to get a player like that? Because we all know that Bruno Fernandes is going to start that number 8, regardless of what anyone says. Bruno Fernandes will start on the number 8 position, and that's a mistake for me. But we can live off that if we fix the other side of the midfield and we get a goalkeeper. I really do think that. I think the game changer is a goalkeeper. I think if Man United bring in a Senny Lamens, if they bring in an Emi Martinez, I think Man United will be streaks, tenfolds better. Absolutely. By the way, be patient with the manager, guys. Absolutely. People forget the Fergie in 1986 and didn't win a league until 1992. And the club even thought about sacking him. Yeah, but they were actually, no one's more patient than we are on this channel, my friend. We're very patient. We actually block people who will go against the manager. I did a couple at the weekend. Because I think it's ridiculous and stupid. Absolutely. So what I would say in regards to that, my friend, is that yes, we back the manager full throttle. And what I don't want people to do is forget about this window, guys. I don't want people to forget about this window, because we need to look at this season in context. If we do not get any more players, do not blame Ruben Amorim for that. And do not blame Ruben Amorim if we don't get to the heights that we want to be. Because at the end of the day, he has not been backed. If we end this window now, he has not been backed. I had a couple of people on the stream earlier saying he's been backed. Jamie was here. People were saying he's been backed. I couldn't believe my ears. They said if the window ended now and we had Cunha and Mbeumo and Sesko, he's been backed. I'm like, double explosion. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, what is going on here? What are you talking about, mate? It's ridiculous, isn't it? Delict is captain material and commands about. Absolutely. Big up. Absolutely. Hey, Steve, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Learn from all this palaver about players not waiting to play football and write up a proper contracts. Steve, you know what? I've been saying this for a long time, Steve. You bring up that subject. I do believe that there needs to be some sort of protection for the football club. I really do. I think in light of what's been going on this last few weeks in regards to Garnacho and Sancho and Anthony, to an extent, I think that there needs to be some kind of stipulation inserted into the contracts that say that if you do not accept an offer, if you do not want to play for Man United and you want to be transfer listed, you must go to the first offer. You must at least talk to these teams. Now, there needs to be some sort of punishment for players who go into social media, who click likes, who write tweets. There needs to be some sort of punishment for that, because in the past, if you verbally spoke to the manager out of hand, you'll be punished. Twitter and X and things like that are verbally, innit? They're counted as verbal. And I thought that brought the club into disrepute, in particular when Sancho done it and left it there for 3 weeks. To the guy, Eric Ten Hag, who gave him 3 months paid off work. Now, what I would say is that I honestly believe now that Jadon Sancho was lying about his depression. I honestly think he's lying about it now. I honestly think he manipulated Man United, because anyone who truly had a problem, who truly was, had a serious mental health problem, would appreciate their manager for what he did for them. I'm just baffled. I agree, Anja De Ligt should be captain. I agree, Jamie, as well, Tyborg. I think he should. I think he'd be a better captain. Bruno's not a captain. As much as we think about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, one thing about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager, what made me think, yeah, he knows what he's talking about, is the fact that he didn't want Bruno as a captain. He wanted to keep Maguire as a captain. He did not want Bruno as a captain. And in fairness, there was a lot of fans out there who were screaming and shouting for, Bruno to be captain. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't want to put him. Unfortunately, because the way Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is, he ended up giving him the captaincy. Which I honestly think, in my opinion, guys, that the captaincy for Bruno, it actually harms his game as well. Big up, Michael. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again, mate. Hope you're well. He hasn't free players. He's not backing the manager. Absolutely not. I don't know what people were thinking about early on today, Jamie. It really annoys me, because I believe, guys, I want a non-sinister debate on football. I don't want debates on football based on sinister reasons. I don't want, just because he's born and bred or he fits a certain narrative, I don't want anything like that spoken about in regards to football. I want the facts, guys. I want the truth, guys. Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise can't handle the truth. Some of them obviously couldn't this morning. I want the facts, guys. And when I think about, if the window ended now, you know what? He would have been backed. I'm like, my goodness me. Again, you know what I mean? I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like this, guys. They said to me, if the season ended now, at the end of last season, if someone told you you're going to get Sesko and Mbeumo and Cunha, would you have been happy? I said, yes, I would be happy. I said, I'll be ecstatic. I would have said you're lying. You know what I mean? I would have said you're smoking something. But what would be my next question? 10 points for a guess. What would be my next question? What about the midfield and the goalkeeper? That's exactly what I would have said. Did we get a midfield and a goalkeeper? About that, no. We didn't get a goalkeeper. We didn't get a midfielder. And then, you know what? I think they're just supporting them for other reasons. I've come to the conclusion that people are not supporting Ineos because they believe Ineos or this or believe Ineos or that. I believe they're supporting Ineos because of other reasons, sinister stuff. But what I would say in regards to Qatar, obviously there was rumors about Qatar this week that they could quite possibly bid for the Glazers' share in the football club, and Jim Ratcliffe can't do anything about it, guys. But unfortunately, given that there is an Olympic Games in Qatar, and obviously with the success of PSG, it looks unlikely that Qatar are going to come back with a bid. As people know, I've been in Qatar this year. I was in Qatar in July, guys, and I spoke to a lot of people, and it was not good news. Guys, I would say that. I didn't want to really bring it in, but it's not good news. A lot of them said that, after the way that they were treated by the Manchester hierarchy, there's probably an unlikely scenario that they come back with a bid, because we disrespected them, we lied, they manipulated the media, they said that Sheikh Jassim Hamad doesn't exist. And where's the apologies for that, by the way? I want to know, because Jim Ratcliffe said that as well. Jim Ratcliffe was one of the ones who said that Sheikh Jassim Hamad doesn't exist. Where's the apologies about that? That's what I want to know. Benny, you can't do a job of you if you don't have the right tools. Absolutely. Give Amram the right tools and he'll do the job right away. Exactly, mate. You can't go into a sword fight with a breadstick. It's just like, you could be the most skillful sword fighter in the world, but if you've got a breadstick, you're going to lose that sword fight. You definitely will. You know what I mean? Even if you had tuna and mayonnaise in it. Jamie, plus, how many months during this window has been asking for more players? You can see in his press conferences, he didn't happy. He wanted to say it out. You know what I would say? You're absolutely right, Jamie, because in that press conference, you have to look at body language. He got defensive. The reason that Ruben Amorim got defensive is because he's frustrated. The frustration was there. So he got frustrated with that. And I honestly think that he's annoyed. I think that if he could speak the truth, he'd be banned. But he knows as well as I do, he can't say anything. Once you start calling out the ownership, there's only one way you're going to go, isn't it? And people need to understand that. This is why I said at the end of last season, and I still stick by this, by the way, if Ruben Amorim is not backed, he should walk. He should walk, but he's not going to walk because financially, it's going to help Ineos, isn't it? And I wouldn't want him to walk because at the end of the day, it's going to help Ineos. But he should do it. I won't want him to do it, but he should do it because, you're throwing him into the Sharks, really, and the Lions at the same time. I don't even know lions can swim, but you're throwing them in with the Sharks. That's for sure. Cyborg, contrary, Sal, it's obvious Sancho has mental problems. He is just crazy. Pick up Cyborg. You make a good point there. He does have a very, very bad. Definitely. My friend, I put Garnacho at the category as Di Maria and Tevez, and Garnacho situation and Sancho hurts even more because he is academy product. I'm just disappointed. Well, he came from Atletico Madrid, but it does because I backed him a lot, my friend. I backed him right until the bone. I backed Garnacho right from the beginning, guys. I really did. And to be honest with you, he's disappointed me. He's let me down. He has. He let me down. He's let me down a big time. And, I didn't expect it from him. I thought he was a humble lad when he broke through the ranks. And it's ironic that we're playing Fulham on Sunday because that's how really he broke into the team, didn't he? Scoring that late goal for us, winning us the game. I think it was 2-1, wasn't it? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, look, at the end of the day, he wants to go to Chelsea. It looks like he probably will go to Chelsea. However, I do think that the likes of Sancho won't leave the football club. They're going to run down their contracts, although Sancho, in my opinion, will do a last-minute loan deal. That's what I think he's going to do. He doesn't want any Man United to benefit from anything. He will do a last-minute loan deal. That's what he's going to do. Beef. Sal, Højlund is leaving. I hope he does. He can get some money. What I would say is that I'll believe it when I see it. Obviously, there's links with Napoli, of course, first mentioned on Stretford Post, of course, guys. Let's not forget that, of course, before other people start mentioning that like it's their news. What I would say is that, look, Rasmus Højlund, Napoli want Rasmus Højlund on a permanent deal. There is obviously a little bit of a conflicted opinions and a conflicted news in the media in regards to Rasmus Højlund. Apparently, there's news that Rasmus Højlund wants a loan with an obligation to buy, not a loan, and that's it. I don't know if that's true. Michael, Fulham 0, Manchester United 3. Bigger, I'll take that, mate. I will take that all day long. Rumor of an ex-player and consortium. Very interesting. Let's hope so, Benny. That will be lovely. I mean, obviously, in Germany, they do the 50 plus, don't they? Ownership, don't they? And I think that is what they need to implement in England. I really do. In particular, Manchester United. What happened with Manchester United all those years ago when the Glazers took charge of this football club is illegal now. And it shouldn't have been allowed to happen. It shouldn't have happened back then. I mean, I would have hoped that it was retrospective action would have been taken and they shouldn't be allowed to own the football club anymore. They should have been made to pay some kind of fee or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, look, what I would say is that, if anyone could get charge of this football club, get hold of this football club, actual people who love the football club, i.e. David Beckham, he was one who sported a guitar, by the way, typical Leytonstone lad like me. What I would say is that, if we can get the right people owning the football club, if it's Gary Neville, Rio Ferdinand, then, isn't it? As well as I do, it's not going to be good. But we need someone like David Beckham. Definitely need someone like David Beckham. I really had hope. Instead of concentrating on Miami FC, David Beckham should help his teams, mate. You know what I mean? He should help his local. He should help Leyton Orient, where he's from. He should help Man United. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's what he should do. And he should, if there's going to be a consortium, I think he should be the front runner. Hello, Ellen. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hello, Ellen. Good to see you. After SA deal done, the rumors are Arsenal will go for Morgan Rogers, but United are relaxed on the transfer window. We're calm. We're calm, absolutely. This is why we're falling behind, absolutely. Top 6 with a cup, it would be great season in my eyes. I mean, at this moment in time, my friend, I think, that would be a great season. Sal, isn't Beckham an ambassador of Qatar? Yes, he is. Of course he is. He knows good when he sees good. David Beckham's a proper one. You know what I mean? You think I'm going to listen to some country bumpkin from the middle of Leeds, You know, I'm not going to listen to them because at the end of the day, look, you know, I know what I got. I've traveled. I've been there, you know. I swear when players leave us, they talk about us like we are a satanic organization. Yeah, look, you know what? A part of me feels, my friend, you make a good point. A part of me feels that a lot of these ex-players don't really want us to be successful. It's like we're going to basically damage their legacy or some madness like that. I don't know. Hello, Durso. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're blessed. Hello there. We should have a goalkeeper and at least one midfielder, but the midfield should be one who can fit and give immediate benefit to club. Great comment. Absolutely. And this is exactly what I've been saying, Durso. We cannot sign a midfielder if they're not even better than Ugarte. Do you know what I mean? They have to be better than what we have already. We're looking at Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo is a very good player. People forgetting about that. They have to be better. You know, we can't just sign anyone willy-nilly. And this is my worry about Hillman. You know, at the end of the day, absolutely. That's my worry about Hillman. Guys. Chow, big up Jamie, of course. I'd love him to own us, the Qatari backing. They're not going to come back for us, Jamie, in my opinion. They got an opportunity to buy the football club from the Glazers. I just don't think they're going to buy it. There's a couple of things. Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers are up each other's backside. They both want that regeneration project. They're in line to make up to 10 billion minimum. I don't think they're going to miss that opportunity. Absolutely not. So I don't think Qatar will buy it unless they offer an astronomical amount of money, which is going to be about 10 billion probably, which may have made the Glazers think about it. But why should they? This window has to be closed now. I can't take it anymore. I just want to see good football. Dear God help. We will see it, Ellen, on Sunday, my friend. We will see it on Sunday. I believe Man United will play some decent stuff on Sunday. And we will win the game, as I predicted. Sal, top 5 is here to grab, but we are not doing anything like we win the league. No, we're not doing any. We're not on a league position. We're a bit like Arsenal a few years ago, where you know what, Arsenal were top 4 FC. Do you remember? And they were only fighting for top 4. This is a bit like what Man United are. I mean, I remember back then, guys. I said, God help me if Man United are ever just a top 4 team, just a top 4 team. I said it back then. God help me. And now here we are. All these years later, here we are. I hope that changes. Man United should always be challenging. Man United should always be competitive. It's not only good for Man United, it's good for English football that we are competitive, you know, as a football club. Absolutely. I totally agree. They were treated bad and ridiculed when all they wanted to do was save this club. I want to hear an apology from those people who said Sheikh Jassim Hamid is not a real person. I've seen 2 pictures. One of them was at the World Club Championship, and you can't lie about that. And one of them was on the street as someone took a picture of him. I want an apology from Jim Ratcliffe, and I want an apology for all those people who said he's not even a real guy. I've had some people come on this channel and say he's not even a real guy. And I'm thinking in my head, you don't know that, mate. Just because a guy doesn't come out there in front of the media, look at me, here's my belly, here's my tits. You know what I mean? Just because a person doesn't do that, you know, doesn't mean that they don't exist. It's just they don't like being in front of the camera. Maybe he's a modest guy. Maybe that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? We shouldn't have signed Ugarte because if you think of it, why would PSG sell him after 1 season? It seemed odd. Now they know that I tried the hard way. And what I would say is that he had very good stats. He had the best ball recovery in Europe. I think he just didn't fit Luis Enrique's system. That's what I would say. And apparently, he didn't get on with someone at the football club. Apparently. All right? So that's what I would say. His family are quiet. People don't like the media. Absolutely. I don't like the media. I worked in media. I was in the music industry 20 years. People are always trying to get me in front of a camera. Funny enough, I'm in front of a camera now, but I'm with my fellow United fans that make me feel safe. You know, but what I would say is that he don't like the media. And that's understandable. You know, he don't like to sell himself in the media like Jim Ratcliffe does. Well, at the end of the day, you know. Where do we come this season, please? It depends on the transfer window, Beef Bully. What we do before the 1st of September will tell me a lot. It will tell me a lot of what we're going to do, guys. And that's what it is. But, guys, to my right, to my left, to the right, to the left, that boy Cristiano Ronaldo. Absolutely. He's not as bad as people make out. Absolutely not, Bexy. When he's fit, he was a better than most. It's true, Bexy. I agree with that. And you know what the biggest problem with Ugarte is? Sorry, guys. Let me tell you what the biggest problem with Ugarte is. It starts with B. B. He's a boxer. Bruno Fernandes is the big problem in our midfield. Not Ugarte, not Mainu, not Casemiro. Absolutely not. Big up, Ellen. Thank you, Ellen. Great to have you on board. Guys, thank you everyone for joining the channel. Hope you enjoyed the match preview. I know there's a lot going on in regards to Man United. But, guys, hopefully we start that team. To my right, to my left. Guys, hopefully we start that team. It's actually to my left, guys. Yeah, hopefully we start that team. And that is a good enough team to win the game on Sunday, guys. I really hope so. Guys, you're absolute legends. Thank you for joining me. I will be back. I will be back tomorrow for Breaking Dawn, early in the morning, Breaking Dawning, as we do every single day. And also, guys, if anything breaks, of course, I'll be live as well, guys. So don't forget to put your notifications on in case you do see my mug face again, guys. And please don't forget to smash the like, guys. I've had quite a few people in, not as many as I would like, guys. Chatterbox is important as well. But, guys, look, thank you so much, guys. Man United are winning, Ellen, 2-1. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget, as I said, subscribe, smash a like. You're absolute legends, every single one of you. Much love. See you tomorrow, regardless. Take it easy. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox, the match preview between Fulham and Man United. Take it easy. Peace.